regarding the regulation, our focus will be more be in Europe, because we see there that they are expecting more certificate or quality products and good prices. So I think we see more opportunities over that market than in the US, because in the US now is a lot of people doing that, a lot of brand. I think a lot of people it's like a very hard competition with product. With sometimes we said, okay.
Join, share. All of our content is available on Patreon, also Patreon.com/Global Hemp Association. And then also on YouTube, podcasts, social media. Next Thursday is our Q&A series. There's a link on our LinkedIn page to join for education format or education series. It's a Q&A format, and we're with Melissa Nelson and Andrew Bishop talking about hemp processing, industrial fiber hemp processing. So welcome everybody. Thank you for joining. But I'm super excited to have Philip here. We were just talking about what they're doing over in Chile. So do you mind real quick before we dive into this? Because I have so many questions about how things are and what you've been up to and so forth. But give me a little background about yourself. How'd you get into this industry? Where are you guys going? And Chile, of all places, right?
Yeah, I have a background in the agribusiness. I went in the fruit export business for like 12 years. So I'm very related with the farms, with the condition that we have in Chile to have very great products at very good price. So in that matters, that was one of the things that I said from the beginning in the cannabis industry. Hey, we have advantage. We show that in any kind of product. So in this one will not be different. And I start working with canopy growth. I start a company here in Chile, and we met with canopy growth. We was the first company that canopy joined in Latin America. And then we joined the Latin American team in the other countries. So I worked there for 4 years, learning a lot about the good thing and bad things. So I very related on all the how all the industry are being developed in the Latin American continent, from Mexico to Brazil, Argentina, our country, Peru. So and with them we developed like a very good and strong team. And now all the people that was part of that project is still related in some way in the industry, like pushing again from each country to can this happen. I think the regulation now it's more in that direction. So yeah.
Hey, so how'd you get into this industry in general? When did you start? You've been in it for 4 years, or were you in the hemp and cannabis industry before working with Canopy?
No. I met Canopy in 2016, and
Okay.
now I left Canopy in the past year, 2020. And from that, I'm developed like my own project with a partner. And we have one of the 3 legal licenses to grow hemp in Chile. We are located in the 7th region, 300 kilometers south of Santiago, in the Wine Valley, in the Maule Valley, very well known because we have like the big wineries are there. So we have like a very good weather there. And we have like this year one harvest just for R&D, and for the next year we are going bigger. And also we are starting developing the project to construct a GMP lab so we can process our product and make like products so we can export. So we are kind of in the beginning of the industry here in Chile. The thing is, we don't have yet the difference between cannabis and hemp. So the to you can get a license is very hard. That's why it's only like three, now four license that has like 1 year. So it's very difficult because we don't have that difference that so we have to have a lot of security, for example,
Yeah.
in product that is not needed. So we are working on that with the regulators. They are very open to start like have like a regulation regarding hemp and split that with cannabis and THC and that. So yeah, it's like a long way. We're taking a long time, but we think that seeing what is happening in the US, all the experience that you have there, we also have been learning a lot of the mistakes that happens trying to start the business. So for us, we think it's easier because we have that experience, and for us go to the expo is like go to the future, 5 years, and then come back and say, okay, in 5 years we will be there. So we have to do this is the technology, this is the people. So yeah, it's very good to have like that perspective, and have all that good information that will give us an opportunity to we know that we will make mistakes, of course, but we
Sure.
can reduce that a lot. So yeah, that is great.
Well, that's always the risk in the new industry, right? Everybody wants to be the first in because the chance to win big, but the risk is awful. And we've seen it. We've seen so many people fail, and the industry failed with that these lack of extraction facilities or processing facilities, and the overgrowth and nowhere to put it, and yeah, regulations that came down. So, what are some things that you've really seen um, that you're working to avoid, or opportunities, I guess, that have been presented by other people's mishaps or failures?
Yeah, for example, we know that we have, if we want to be the first, we also have to ensure, because for example, we know that we will don't have problem regarding farmers. Okay, we have plenty of farmers. They are good doing cherries, grapes, wine. So we are very sure that if they want to put some cannabis in there, they will have great products. So
Mhm.
learning from what happened in the US, we one of our priorities and one of our like duties is to ensure the process facilities for the farmers. That is what we need to be and make the first step on that. That's why we are building the GMP lab with all the certification that we need to export to Europe, because we know you in the US, you have a lot of production, you have a lot of problems there. And I think that for our kind of product, that what kind of product we can do now in Chile regarding the regulation, our focus will be more be in Europe, because we see there that they are expecting more certificate or quality products and good prices. So I think we see more opportunities over that market than in the US, because in the US now is a lot of people doing that, a lot of brand. I think a lot of people is like a very hard competition with product. With sometimes we said, okay, you can get CBD from $800, or you can find CBD from $5,000. Okay, which is the difference on that, or who put that difference? For example, in Chile, what is allowed is under pharmaceutical product. So that's why we are building the laboratory, and the authorities allow us to have plants. Is because we are building a laboratory, and we will make an EPA and pharmaceutical ingredient that we can export, or we can sell here in Chile under some law that allows pharmaceutical products, cannabis-based products. So we are in that part of what we can do now, but we are very sure that in 2 more years we will have pretty of opportunities outside Chile and inside Chile also. So I think we are in a good time. We have to resist and secure the investment and and have that working, because, as I said, we don't think that we have problem with farmers on product, and we are now focused on have the facilities to start.
Are you doing mostly CBD, or are you doing fiber production also?
And as we are starting on this, we are like doing both. We have one license for flowers and we have one license for grains. So in that matters, we are more focused than in fiber. We are very focused on grain because Chile is a great producer of a lot of products, but we don't have vegetal protein. We can't grow soy in Chile because in Chile it's not allowed to grow GMO products. So we are very worried about that. We're very organical. We have a lack of vegetal protein planted in Chile, and we have a huge market regarding the animal industry. We are three of the biggest salmon producers in the world, and just the salmon industry import more than 1.5 million tons of soy from Argentina and Brazil to feed the salmons. So we have like a huge opportunity there, thinking in the future and going big, because to be part of that industry, we need to have like thousands of hectares. So we are thinking in the future. We are starting, but we have that need of vegetal protein in Chile. So that's give us like the confidence that we can go there, because we have that need and we can produce like a circular economy. We don't have to start importing soy that they are devastating the Amazons to get more soy. So it's a complete different story. So yeah, we are in the both sides, both cannabinoids for the laboratory, and we are now focused on grain, and the fiber will be like the second option, but grain on the vegetal protein for human consumption and animal consumption for the future.
Okay, so when we talk about grain, what challenges do you see? I'm curious about like animal feed, using it for animal feed. Does Chile allow that, or what regulations are you guys up against to really make it mainstream, especially bringing it in for protein and things like that?
If you think on the salmon industry, they have like a formula. So you are an ingredient on the formula, and the ingredient is not cannabis seed; it's vegetal protein. It's isolated and 70% concentrated. So you are selling an ingredient. If you are getting from hemp, it's a different story. So that is the way on the. It's different than what they are looking now in the animal feed, where you are given the flour, like the rest of the flour, to feed the animal. Yeah, it's different because you are not sure what you are giving. You are giving it a lot of things, but when you're part of the formula, the industry asks for your ingredient. Hey, I need a vegetal isolated protein with this blah 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 blah. Okay, this is my blah blah, but I have your ingredients. So that is how we think, and we are pretty sure because we are talking with the companies that made the salmon food. So they already tell us, hey, I need this. So that's what we are doing now. We don't have that product ready, but we can import it from the US and start doing that, because we need to start having this. We don't need to wait 2 years to we can grow everything here. If we can start importing product from the US, it would be easier. We need to be make a lot of noise in the industry, and they are start knowing this new ingredient, because this I think this will be huge. So this is
I
space
agree
for
with you.
everyone. So
I agree. I think that the food piece is somewhere where the US for sure has missed the boat when it comes to projections or where our focus is. We came in heavy on the CBD side, and I think that it's the protein, the food, the grain. I mean, it's massive opportunities, right? And like you said, I didn't realize you guys didn't have a lot of food-based protein. I didn't
No,
really.
protein, because if we have some lupin, okay, something like that, where we have a lot of wheat and corn, that is energy, not protein. So the big protein that everybody knows is the soy. Everyone knows soy, and everyone soy. 80% of the vegetable protein, I think, is soy, something like that. So we can't grow soy in Chile. We don't have the best condition to soy, and we can plant GMO. So it's not an issue, and that's why we have like a huge opportunity to bring this new, very productive, very that you can put with another products in the middle of the harvest. You can do a lot of things. So we have to bring the knowledge of the US, and that's why we went to California and Oregon in September of last year. We went to the expo. Now we will be there for sure at the end of the year. For us, it's very important, and we are. The good thing is in this industry is great. Has you can do alliance. A lot of people are very open to connect, to collaborate. So in the last trip to Denver was amazing. We have like a very good connection in on the US, so we are working on them to start this international collaboration. We are on the off season, so we are like the grain for the US. We export a lot of seeds from the US all the year. Chile is very well known exporting seeds in off season to the US. So all the big companies are here doing that. So in this case, we have like an also huge opportunity doing that. So a lot of opportunities to work. So it's great.
That's awesome. Where do you see the need, or where do we need to be focusing on import export or regulations or laws around the import export? What challenges do you see?
In the regarding the cannabinoid sites, regarding cannabinoid sites, you have like the regulation on the pharmaceutical is very. You have to have some standards to have like the category of pharmaceutical products that you can be part of. Magister recipe, something allows something like that, or a finished product that have to show and have like a register on the pharmaceutical product. So it's a very hard way now. In the moment that more product get registration outside in the US, for example, we will get that permit in Chile. So that is part of the process. But as we will be producing like the ingredient, we can sell this ingredient, export that ingredient to another pharmaceutical that use the ingredient for a final product. And for regarding the food side, it's not a hard regulation. I think that we will need like the permit to export seeds, but as I said, Chile is a very well-known exporting seeds. So this will be like okay, we will need a new code. Maybe we will get a new code. That will be like a win.
Yeah.
So we are working on that. We are working with the authorities. So that is part of what we are doing to have like a very very clear framework to work. So
I really like how you've been mentioning that. I think what I've seen a lot in all the different states here in the United States is the different states are managing grain or fiber the same as they are CBD, right? When really we're looking at, like you said, an ingredient. And as long as it's meeting the specs for that ingredient, it falls under basically a different category, or could fall under a different category, right? Can you teach me a little bit about like processing grain for grain? What does it look like? What's the process look like compared to CBD, where most of our listeners, or a lot of listeners, are used to or understand the CBD, process? What's the difference?
No, the other process is the normal process that the industry use on the grains to get the like the flour. You use in the case of the hemp, they are using the same New Holland machinery. They just adjust like some part on the cut side because the fiber is a little bit harder, and then they use the same machinery that used for another grain, where the machine get the grain and split of the for the plant, and the grain will go in the different side, and then you start with the grain, you press the grain, you get the oil, and then you get like a cake. And that cake, if you like clean it a little bit, you will have like like the flour, and you can have like more concentrated protein regarding you go finer in and go cleaner that flour. So it's like a very very normal process. The US, you can find like a huge, the thing is you need like a huge facilities, because this is like hundred of hectares, so you it's very difficult go start with like a small pilot. You have to invest and have like at least a machinery, for example 200 hectares, because if you can go for the half of that, you will expend like the same of the money. So it's it's the same like the egg of the or the chicken. We I think that our duty is ensure the investment have the facilities and way to have all the all the biomass that you need to grow it. I think we are like a little bit like obligated on that, because we are the first one. We need to be integrated. In the US now, you can find companies doing just receiving the grain clean, and they do some part of the business or the transportation, or it's already you have like a side business and everything. Now we are like integrated, because if we want to this happen, we need to do it everything, and then we are inviting and joining people and people with the skills to say, hey, you can develop this. Look, in the US, they are doing this. We don't have time. We don't have the knowledge, but we will need this in 2 years more. So please go and do it. We are in that
Yeah.
process, talking with a lot of people. So it's very great.
That's awesome. I see that a lot, even in the US, right? There's a lot of technology that's being pieced from all over the world, especially, China and Israel. They're ahead of us in some of this technology.
No, I think that you already have, and the thing is, as you are like you are big, you go there and you have like no one, you have five. So sometimes the people say, "Oh, I spent a lot of money." Yeah, you have five. You need one. Okay, give me one. Bring to Chile, and I can have like processing in off season and get some money of that machinery. Okay, it's not a problem on the industry. You have five machines. Don't cry about it. It's something like that.
Okay, so talk to me about demand. When you're one person that's going to be developing a processing facility for Chile, how many processing facilities do you think you need to fulfill the opportunity that's actually there? Or just for grain, if we talk about just one vertical, and grain, how many processing facilities do you need, and what's really the overall need when we talk competitive internationally?
Look, just to give you a perspective regarding what the salmon industry need on vegetal protein, when I said that 1 million tons, they are talking about they are talking about 200,000 hectares of vegetal protein planted to have to fulfill their needs. Okay, 200,000 hectares is what on vegetal protein. We are not saying that we will be just hemp, but it's just to give you like a perspective on the opportunity that just one part of the industry offer. Okay, so that is the what we are seeing in the future. So we will need a lot of facilities, and we expect that we don't want to be the only ones. We need to build to do that this happen. We know that we can not be the only one. So we
No.
are we are always inviting people. Hey, do this process, man. We need you.
Well, just like all the other silos, do you see, let me ask this, to compete on the big scale and to be able to fulfill this demand, what does scalability look like? What do we need in order to scale to fit the demand and maintain the competitive edge, especially on commodity prices? Did I lose you? Uh-oh. We'll wait for a second. Are you back? I don't know if it's my internet or not. Let me move around. Let me see if maybe it's mine.
Yeah, as I said, no, it's fine. I'm okay?
You're good now. I can hear you now.
Yeah.
I'm moving around.
Regarding the demand, we know that we are like creating, because when we have the product that the animal industry need, we will have the demand. We are creating like a hemp-based line of product, like Manitoba Harvest. We are creating our own line of hemp-based products that we are getting. We already have our first harvest of seeds, so we are doing a little bit everything to start doing this, to start the industry, to the people can know about it. And the thing is, the hemp seeds are very well known. Regarding a lot of people doing yoga here, healthy food and everything, know a lot about the hemp seeds. So it's great. We are not trying to educate a lot. All the educated people know and about hemp protein on the hemp seeds, so it's great.
I hope it's not my internet that's losing you. And of course, I'm outside. Today is one of those days. There's a big garbage can right by me. I should have sat in the car.
I'm here with my partner parking, so we're not moving. So
you're awesome. It's not you. It's definitely my Wi-Fi. I'm hoping that this is better. I keep trying to get away from sound. But I'm curious about, if we're talking 200,000 hectares on grain, right? When we talk a big scale, are you thinking silos? When we think about like how the corn or some of these other grains are being stored, do you envision scalability looking something like that, where we have like a main place for processing and silos, where they can be stored along the way? Or what does it look like for the layout?
It's the same that in the US. They are using the facilities that they already had in the pharma side. The silos are the same that they are using for corn or on any other. The agro partner is needed in this. We don't want to have like new farmers trying to do a grain. We need farmers that make grain for a lot of years, that do everything, and we can join them to have like the product. We are not trying to do their job. We need them, and that's why we are okay. We are bringing good genetics. We know about this. We will give you like the know-how. We ensure that we will buy you everything. We will process everything. So that is part of our responsibility to start and try to develop the industry in the right way. We know that what happened in the US. If we do the same, it's like why we know what happened. So we are trying to do it in the right way, with respect, because a lot of guys did it in the right way and they are successful now. But
yeah. Well, and I think that this is an opportunity to learn, right?
Yeah, sure.
Being in the situation you are in it's great. Yeah. So tell me, if somebody wants to get in touch with you, how does somebody reach out? Where do they get in touch? Do you have a website?
LinkedIn. For me, LinkedIn is a great tool to connect people in the industry. A lot of learning there, a lot of information. I think it's a great platform to connect.
Okay, so I'll share your LinkedIn.
I made you there, so I recommend LinkedIn.
Awesome. I'm going to share your contact information here in just a little bit so that everybody can have it, or your LinkedIn profile so that people can find you on there. Cool. I had another question for you really quick, and now I can't remember what it was going to be. Let me see. This is why I always write. There's a lot of discussion about whether or not hemp is something that's profitable, right? That it's financially a wise choice for our farmers. Can you speak to that?
I'm getting out of battery. If I cut, please, sorry, and we can connect back and talk again. Sorry.
That's okay. Let's do this. Let's just call it so that I don't lose you. Want to do that? I'll go ahead and share your contact information here, and let's touch base again. I'd love to continue to do this. We do education series also on Thursdays. I'll send you the link, Philip, so that you can join. But it's an awesome Q&A. I'd love to have you involved and so forth. But however I can support, you reach out, okay? Did I lose you?
No, happy to connect and connect again. So, no, sorry.
You're good?
Okay, happy to
perfect.
Connect and talk again.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited.
Bye.
I enjoyed having you on. I want to talk soon. Okay, bye, Philip.
Well, thank you. Sure. Bye-bye.
Absolutely. We'll see you. Drive safe. All right, guys. We'll see you later. Have a good day.